What's going on there, YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.what'supinthesky.com. Just did some updates to it. Set up, I got the member section set up a little bit better now. There's a member section menu where you can edit your profile and stuff. Um, Stayed up last night and the night before programming. Had to get some stuff done for work. And then did some stuff for my website while I was on the ball. So I've been up for a couple days now. And I have this thing all set up, ready to go. And I've been staring at it for like I don't know, 4 hours watching cartoons and Family Guy and stuff like that, and South Park, and coming back and forth to it. And I'm like, you know what? I just got to get this done and over with. Put this bad boy out. What you're looking at over here on the right is Japan. Japan has these exclamation part mark looking things all over the place. Exclamation point, whatever you call it, wherever you're from. And the Mars has this huge one on there. And this here, this is the high resolution one, so once I start fiddling with this one, it might actually lock up a little bit, so we might have to stare at it for a little bit, but um, UFO Omni guy, that guy, he just did a really good video on, I'll link below, and there's a whole bunch of this stuff out here. I mean, this one's like one that's been done a million times. Everybody knows about this, so you've probably seen it, but I'm going to take you in a little bit closer than what usually people go. There's a couple spots that he shows in his video that I really didn't make out on mine on this picture, so I found some other things I want to show you guys, and also just by some other websites out there that people finding as well. But this is Japan here. I got some other examples of it just from the internet. Here's another one right there. The other exclamation point you see right here. Look at that thing. That's pretty cool. And notice all just like the random buildings around it and stuff like that and how they're shaped out. I swear I run into shapes like this right here on Mars nonstop when we're going through stuff. Um, so here's some of the mounds. Just this is like the topography of one. It looks like a model that someone had made for something. This is the same one I showed you before. Here's a more modern one. So I mean they're still making them. Um, Pretty neat. They were burials, I believe. You want to wiki it, go for it. And here's the one. There's the model. So pretty cool. This is there's stuff on the sides of them. If you're taking it, you notice it's it's pretty laid out. And this one I thought was the coolest, just kind of sitting there all big. And you see how over here it's got this random like outcropping right there to it. Like for what reason that's there, I'm not sure. It's not over on this side, so let's go back and take a look at this. So I got rid of this. Now let me go ahead and minimize that. I'm not going to get rid of it because if this video locks up after doing it, which I have so many of these videos I've done, especially when I mess with these JP2s, if I have to do a couple hundred times. So, and here we go. Here's NASA at the high rise. They're actually calling it the exclamation mark. So it's not just me calling it. It's not just the whole internet, everybody with the Mars Anomalies website calling it that. It's funny how some people will probably come here and be like, no way, that doesn't even look like an exclamation mark. No way that's was made by somebody. That's just, wind and sand blowing around and water. I'm not sure if it was just that either, but wait till we go through here. These are big files. Like I said, I got I think we're working with the black and white one. I got all the ones right here that are in light. But if you want to just get which was it? I got the map projected 156 megabyte one. It's pretty big. If you just get the JPEG version, I mean, you can take a look at it, but you're not going to get near the resolution I'm going to get. Now, also here's one from Themis, the Mars Image Explorer. Um, which I'm going to link this as well. So both of these are going to be linked below, so don't worry about writing them down or anything. All my videos, everything's linked if you're new. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. My subscribers rock. Yeah, well, I don't know what, like I said, I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So why did I download that? Good. I've already got this downloaded, and I've actually got that up as well. So that's the two places. I'm going to tell you how to get there later, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and minimize that. I also have Google Earth up, which I usually don't have a lot of. Usually I don't mess around with Google Earth on my videos, so this will be interesting to say the least. There's the two pictures, and you can see this one's a much shoddy resolution than this one. This one's very high res from that high rise. But there's also some interesting things in these two pictures, especially because they're both taken in. This one's more of like a blocked out version here, and this has a lot of the strip around it, which Google Earth allows you to do too. So Very interesting things. You might want to download, like I said, go download this one for sure. If you just want to get a little piece and you just want to download a little bit of it, you don't want to have that big, huge 100 something megabyte download. Just go download this one. You can get halfway decent resolution. There's some pretty interesting things in here. I mean, just around the corner from it, there's this strange looking structure here. I mean, it looks like a dome to me. It looks like, or, I mean, it's most likely a crater, but it doesn't like have nothing that, I guess this would have been where it came out. I'm not sure. This is pretty cool though. It's kind of on the side of it. Like I said, that's nothing compared to what's here. I'm just kind of going through here and showing you guys. But as you notice, the thing does sit on what used to be what looks like a stream, waterbed of some sort. It used to, it actually goes around it and kind of goes. And you're going to notice that on Google Earth as well. So let's go ahead and get into this thing and take a look at some of it. And it's kind of neat. Like I said, it's pretty cool. It's just kind of out there. And if you go, I'm not going to take the guy's pictures. I don't, a lot of people hassle me because it's like, oh, you're just taking other people's work. Well, if I don't ask for permission, I don't. But I mean, stuff like this, I always give people credit if I can. But this one's been around so long, I don't even know who to give credit for this one. I guess I could give. I guess we give everybody who's in here watching it credit for caring about this stuff because it's amazing how many people actually do. Now I'm going to zoom in here on just this is the middle. Check that out where I was going, and I'm trying not to zoom too much on this one because, like I said, I've got a really nice computer, a lot of memory. It's an Apple, but these huge files like this, man, they lock this thing up when I'm running this video software. So this is right in the middle of it, and we're gonna run down it. I locked up a little bit. It'll come out here in a little bit. There it is. Oh, geez. All right, this is right in the middle of it. Look at this formation here. Very interesting. It almost looks like this was cut into it. And look at this right here. Um, I mean, I could give you what I think that looks like to me. I mean, this is pretty interesting. This looks like a perfect cut, like something was taken from it. But this is very big compared to what we're thinking. Like when we're looking at the one on Earth, we could probably stick a couple of those inside of this. More than a couple of them. We could probably line a bunch of them up. So this one's huge. This exclamation mark is huge, and it's very defined. Like I said, this right here, this is just one of the anomalies here on the side. And so you've got this here, and when you use the black and white, even with the color, a lot of that stuff blends itself in. There's some interesting stuff around the round part, just around in here that I could find, as well as up on there. There's some more interesting parts and stuff like that. So let's keep on going, take a little bit more of a look. And these I thought were pretty cool back down here. These kind of bubbles. You see how everything just kind of fallen off, like it's been weathered through the. This thing's probably been sitting here. It all depends who you listen to. There's so many people come here and have different theories about Mars. There was a war. There was two planets. It was us. The Earthlings had, way in the past. We're talking millions of years ago. They say that we had two Mars. We were two planet system, and we had stuff on Moon. We'd be mining stuff on the Moon and other places throughout the solar system. And something happened. Cataclysms. You know, Something came through and we no longer have that. We've lost the knowledge. The people who know the knowledge are not going to give, normal people the knowledge. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you were one of the normals. I hope. But anyway, because I don't like dealing with the other guys. But so basically, that's what they thought. I think this could be either extraterrestrial when I look at stuff like this. I really don't know. I haven't decided. That's what I love about this stuff. Like I said here, people come in and give me such crap for my theories, and I tell you what, I'll give you theory one video, I throw out the next video. And that's just how I am. You take it or leave it. Like I always say, I see what I see, you see what you see. We can try and meet in the middle. I like to meet in the middle. I love the comment section. I've actually gotten really used to this new Google Plus thing. At first I didn't like it, but now it's like it's much easier for me to get all of the comments in one place. So they keep making upgrades to it and making it a little better. So while they're getting our data, um, but it definitely looks squared out. Like at one time, this could have been perfect. Could have been perfectly shaped. And now I also thought this was pretty cool. That this kind of looked like two faces in here. Kind of this one right here was a face looking this way. Let me kind of zoom in how I saw it. Um, where was it? Here was one here. Here would be the nose, the mouth, eyes right here, and then the chin would just go back, and then body here, you know. But that's matrixing. That's but look at how the a lot of this stuff has. So look at here. Hold on. I wish I could get the pointer up when I've got this. I don't have it in Photoshop because if I were to pull this in Photoshop, it'd be like game over. It wouldn't want to do anything. But look at the rectangle there up on the hill. Um, Not perfect. Actually, that looks like a home plate, like a perfect home plate. I love the resolution of this one. I mean, this is very up close. So let me pull back here and see what we go. And as we go through this, we'll just take a quick look at this one together, and then we'll flip to the Google Earth and just show you a little bit around it. Um, as I go through this stuff, I'm sure you guys are like, "What's that down there? Go look at that. Go look at this. Go look at that." It's a shame is once you get down to this resolution, it actually kicks out. You know, you lose a lot of it. It gets kind of blurry. But what do you guys see there? Do you guys see flat, or do you see shapes and actual, shapes, symmetry? Look at this here. I mean, it's not pixelation. That looks like two rectangles with kind of like in a book format folded right over there. It looks like um, with the same symmetry, stuff off the ground. But like I said, it is at the side of a thing, and if there was, like I said, the cataclysm did happen there, and no matter what happened, I think Mars definitely suffered some sort of cataclysm, whether there were, humans there, guinea pigs there, rabbits there, whatever you want to say, chickens, ducks, anything else that we've seen, iguanas that people have seen on there now, um, humans, or, green-eyed aliens. Something was there. Something was left behind. A lot was left behind. If you check my channel out, if you're new, there's plenty to go see. So anyway, let's go work on that one spot. Let's see. I showed that one. I've got a little legend over here. I always try and keep. All right. You can tell I'm getting like laryngitis and stuff like that. Every time I try and get hardcore like I used to when I was a kid, and like stay up late and get stuff done, I had to bust out work and some stuff like that. Look at this perfect square. How often do you just run across a perfect square like that? Tell me that's not pretty cool. And like I said, if we're looking at something that's millions of years old, that suffered, water for years, after not being taken care of. Look at some of the stuff that's, 1,000 years old, they say here on Earth, and how bad shape it is just from the weathering. So who knows? Now I thought this was kind of cool how how when it goes in, it's almost like it could go up under the platform here. All right, now let's get up to the one part I said. Oh, I was up in it. Let's see. No, it wasn't. Haha. Alright, in the middle here, there was some interesting stuff as well. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it, good folks. I had a guy comment today, he goes, I forget what he said. Sometimes this stuff gets to me. Sometimes, I've learned how to really have thick skin doing this stuff. As I said, if you're a new watching my videos right now, you're probably like, what is this guy talking about? He's just dragging on and on. For some reason, people watch my videos, and some of my subscribers, they've still hung in. How long have I been talking now? 13 minutes, and I love you guys for it. And this guy was like, why do people believe you're bullshit or something like that? I forget what it was, but I felt like just putting like, because I'm handsome and sending it back, just to mess around with these guys. But half the time I just hit this new ban from channel and I love it. They're gone, and you call me whatever you want for doing that. I don't, if somebody wants to debate, I'll believe me, I'll debate them. And I'm half the time, like I said, I'll end up saying, you know what, you're probably right at the end because we don't know what this stuff is until we go check it out with our own eyes. We're just looking at pictures. And to be honest with you, these two could be totally fake. This whole Mars thing could be a set somewhere, for all we know. Designed by a bunch of overpaid art majors. It's kind of interesting there. So let me check, see one other thing. If I have it over here, if I can see anything else. There's the one picture. Hmm. Yeah, there it was. It was on that side. Let me figure this out here. All right, this thing is huge. We'll see. We'll go get the scale real fast here. Yeah, okay, so we've got this side up like that. And I was looking right about here. There's like this oval shape, and then what looks to be, okay. See how this is connected with the, looks like the spears here? And down here looks like some triangles. They just don't look like, random regolith, random rocks just sitting there. This happen to be hanging out. When you get one or two rocks that sit next to each other, the same shape, same look, same color, um, just when you start having to say, maybe there is something to this. Maybe there's some symmetry, like right here, where there's two patterns, the exact same, somehow in that, whatever that is. And then down here, there's some more buildings. Not call them buildings, whatever you want to call them, more rocks. We're locked up. Let's give it a minute. So yeah, today, why this is coming back, you know what, let me go check out the Google Earth. Like I said, I'm going along on this one. It's probably because I'm just getting tired now, getting slap happy. But, whoever's hanging out with me this long, you guys rock. I hope you guys are the ones that win the new rover. I just ordered a new rover for it's back ordered till March. I should have bought 10 of those things and sold them on eBay. You can't get this, I figured I'd pick up another rover, which is fine because I'm going to give it away for my 10,000th person who signs up as a subscriber. We're going to have a contest for like the 10,000. That's going to be like the day it ends. Whenever I get 10,000, I'm going to go see who was found. And I'm thinking about doing a scavenger hunt on my website or maybe on here or something like that. I'm not sure yet. Really got to check. It's crazy. You got rules and regulations for everything with YouTube. So I want to make sure I'm doing exactly. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to lose my count, especially what we've built here. It's amazing what the group that we have. So look at the river that used to come down here. This is another thing. It's kind of like the Nile, where you get where do they put their pyramids and a lot of the stuff by the water. You know. It only if that was the main source of transportation at one time, and we don't know what would have been here. I'm just speculating on Earth. You want people to see it. That's where you put it. You put it where you drive now. We put stuff where we drive. This is this is it on Google Earth, and like I said, there's a couple interesting little things around here. First, let's give it the old measure tool here. Get the ruler on out, and let's do it in feet. And then we're gonna do it. Let's measure from here to here, full tilt the whole way down. So I've got 8,000 feet. So how many miles is that? Or how many meters? Let's say 2,474 meters. And let's go for miles. 1.5 miles. Which 1.5 miles, seems like it's a lot, but it's not. In the scheme of things, stuff has been done before. Who knows what feats could have been actually made. Um, but let's take a look at where it actually points to, maybe some of that little stuff like that real fast. I thought it was interesting. Let me get that tool back out. Um, okay, we're gonna go bingo. All right, that's right. I gotta keep it open to use it. And we're gonna start here in the center of this little thing, if we can call it the center. We're gonna come straight out of it. See how I'm coming straight out of it? Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Pull that to the side. Yeah, pretty much got straight out of it. That's kind of in the middle there. Comes down straight through the center of it and it hits this strange looking thing right here. And of course, this isn't on any of the other pictures I've got. Couldn't find it anywhere. But once again, you get more of these little domes on it. Just some interesting. Look at this over here. And I really don't like doing this with Google Earth. Because you get this crazy. Look at the color. I mean, it's definitely chopped up. This was kind of cool. Let me see. I used to, used to be a champ when like when I'm on my iPad or something like that, I can use this program. Yeah, much better. Here we go. So check this out here. I was thinking, all right, well, what would the odds be to have that perfectly straight out the center like that come to this other mound here? And when I pull it up, there's things like tongue fork things coming off here. One, two, three. And this one's kind of longer than it. Two perfect spheres right there next to each other. And then there's a lot of that Google Earth stuff it puts in, but through it, you can see some. You can see the actual where the these little actual if you could sit here if you really wanted to and stare at this stuff, you could see stuff here, boxes, and some people would see Nazi swastikas because it looks like that there, but that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking over here where you can actually see um, that's not pixelation. Those are actual mounds you can see. So there's something to it there, whether I get it or not. And also the circles next to it, they're there as well. And then they said there's right off of that, there's this interesting looking thing. It almost looks like some sort of demon head. And I wish we could make this look a little bit better. Let me see if it'll let us mess with the light of it or something like that. Here we go. It's nighttime now. You see it there just hanging out. So I guess that's as good as it gets when you're playing with Google Earth, but let me cancel that. There we are. So anyway, like I said, as you pull out, you still see it there, and those had those three things. So I'm thinking, one, two, maybe. Once you start getting three, it's kind of, especially how it lines up, and some interesting things here. Like I said, Mars is full of wonderful things. All right, where Mr. Handy? There he is, right there. So, all right. Gosh, I didn't even look down there. More weird looking structure. We're looking mounds or whatever you want to call these things. They sure are very interesting. Look at that thing there. What is that coming off? Look at that. It looks to be standing up solid right next to it. Oh, Google Earth. This is how I got started on this stuff. That Antarctica video got me caught doing, man. I'll be sitting here looking at stuff like, wow, what's that? What's that? And if you look hard enough at anything, you can definitely see stuff. So you got to be careful. And like I said, that kind of looks like I said, doesn't that look kind of like another mask or something there? It definitely looks like, look how it comes together in the middle. And this might be the pixel. Yeah, it's probably pixelation. That's nothing there. So that's one thing about, like say, Google Earth. You really got to be careful with that. And a lot of people don't notice that. Um, but we got some really well-trained eyes out there. You guys rock. Hey, look, there's more of these here. Just imagine if they had actual millions of years of just sitting and all those storms, the sandstorms. That's interesting right there. What in the world is that? That's just another, kind of looks like a wall off there, but all right, let me get Google Earth on out of here. Bye-bye, Google Earth. And let's see if we can take one more look at this. And I'll see if there was one more down there that looked pretty cool. So I recommend download this one if you want to get one. You don't want to sit there and waste all your bandwidth or a whole bunch of hard drive space. So this one will at least give you the picture, and you get in pretty close on it, but you can't get the detail. If you want the detail, you gotta download the goose. You gotta get the huge one. Look how I've always just been so fascinated with the way the craters are, especially on Mars. They don't seem to fit the MO of many of the other planets out there. They're perfect so many times, almost like they've been wanted to be perfect. Like they've been used for certain things. They get taken and they get worked, um, turned into domes or turned into thing. And a lot of people think that there's life on the Earth or life on is there life on Earth? Sometimes I wonder, is there intelligent life down here? Um, all right, I better stop to get this thing wrapped up here in a minute. Um, but a lot of people say, maybe the life went underground when everything went kablooey up there, and very well could have. Well could have evolved on a planet that didn't need the circumstances that it needs on Earth. Who knows how evolution works out there in the world. Um, I can tell us this though: every time in human history, 100 years from now, they're laughing at us. 100 years ago, we're laughing at what they thought. Not everybody. There are some amazing, brilliant people out there, but core values, what we think in science, really change. They've changed every 100 years, and now stuff is changing so rapidly. We're getting introduced to these new technologies and stuff like that. Um, who knows? So let's see here. Let me make this one the size of the screen. This is the big one. I can't believe we made it through with only one little hitch. But like I said, as we look at this stuff here, um, does it look random to you? I mean, like right here, this stuff just doesn't look random. It looks like it had a place at one time. It might have been halfway across the planet, or maybe up on the mound, kind of like they had over in Japan. I'm gonna link those other videos below. Like I said, for the people that stick around this long, honestly, I don't know how you guys do it. I'm just babbling tonight. I love you guys for sticking around. Um, I gotta do a lot of umming tonight. Like I said, I'm gonna get some shut eye. I got a. It's been, I said, work. It comes in, like I said, I'm an IT director. It comes in like waves at work, where I'm just slammed. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Networks are down. Um, Orders from Dell and other places aren't in yet. I mean, look at some of this stuff here. Perfect U-shaped. Comes up and there's more like a bow tied around it. And when you look at this more and more like the straight boxy type stuff, you know, I just hey I can't look at a lot. Some of this stuff looks random, but I just can't picture it all just being random, especially a big exclamation point. It seems like it's a symbol that was revered not only in Japan, it's been found in other places. It's used um, in many texts. So didn't get much looking over here. And just in case, like I said, I want to give you guys the best look at you can, because if you're not going to download this big one, I might as well just what's it matter at this point? The video is what, 26 minutes already? It's already going to take forever to upload and eat my bandwidth up, which they charge me for now, which is pathetic. Mediacom. Mediacom, the worst. Yes, if I'm gonna have to pay for it, I might as well complain about some stuff. Mediacom is the worst cable, voted the worst by Consumer Reports cable company, and of course the most expensive. So they decided that I only get 200 gigabytes a month now, and for someone like me, 200 gigabytes. I used to be able to get that at night just downloading stuff off NASA, like the NASA.gov public websites where I'd just be getting the .image files, .jpegs, .pngs, .tiff. I'd just go searching the public stuff and download it. So I've got two. I checked today. I've got two Walmart bins, like the 18 fluid ounce bin things after Christmas sales, filled with external hard drives. Uh, so as I'm sitting here blabbing, are you looking at this stuff? Do you see symmetry in this? Like, I mean, right here next to each other. I can't give you a great scale of exactly what we're looking at size-wise for some of these, but very interesting. It just looks like it was just chiseled in the side. And like I said, it looks like a lot of it collapsed. Like maybe this was, I would imagine, just like in Japan, a lot of these are tombs. And this maybe not have been a tomb, but under it. And that's why you see so many collapses. See all the collapses in it? Under it would have been worked out. Who knows? A whole civilization could have been run from under there. At a mile, a whole town could have been there, a whole city. Um, but and when you turn the exclamation point that way, it does kind of look like a head with a couple of ears, an ear here, a mouth, one like a crazy eye. I would like the eye patch sailor guys, but here in the middle, this too also looks like this stuff has collapsed at one point. And maybe that's why it's gotten, I see this stuff here. Like I said, if you made it this far into the video, we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling. I'll let you see what you guys can see. Because that means you guys are interested. And you are the people that I do this for. You are my geekdoms. I mean, look what we're looking at here. Okay, look. Do you ever see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rocks line themselves up in a perfectly straight line? Um, or something that looks like it's got some sort of smoke coming out of it here. You see these right here? This is more like how we're looking at it. And they never give you the right orientation. Always turn it around on you a couple times. But look at these. Look at the actual shapes here. This high rise is amazing. The actual, it's like somebody's gonna come here. I know the comments will be if you make it. Well, they're not gonna make it this long because the people who leave ignorant comments, they don't wait around this long. They're just, they're, yeah, you suck. You're a lunatic. You should be seen. Yeah, you got some meds. You got some pot, man. Your pot is shit. Yeah, man, you got some pot. Shut up. I mean, come on. And the intelligent people that come, like said, you guys gotta all day long. We'll talk. Said, because I don't know what this stuff is. I'd love to know. I'm just guessing. So, but I'm sure the first people have already gone left. If they didn't, they're either so drunk or so stoned they can't move, or I don't know. Because who the hell would, like I said, unless you were a subscriber and really love to look at these pictures and look at these scribbling into things up there. Doesn't it look like there's some sort of art there? Um, I'll see like stuff like that that looks fresh, and I'll think, oh yeah, well maybe there's something living there now. But then I'll look at the surface, and I'm like, oh maybe not. I tell you, what do you guys think? If you guys made it this far, let me know what you think about life on Mars. What do you think it's still there? Or do you think it's just gone? Is it gone? And we're looking at the remnants. Either way, we're not going to argue about it. I can tell you that. Somebody might argue within the channel. I tell you what, And with Google Plus, they made it very easy to argue with people. You don't have to keep going back and watching the video, which is kind of it's okay, but it's also that kind of stinks for the people who make the videos because I mean, most of us had AdSense and we don't get a whole bunch of money from it, but it helps, man. The AdSense money helps supplement my income. 'Cause I'm an IT director, I don't do too bad. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have no money as we look at some more straight lines and more, well, there seem to be symmetry. Um, well, the AdSense money helps. I know I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't. It did. Some months it's much more than others, but when they added the Google Plus, a lot of it went down tremendously because you're not coming back each time to watch the video to comment to somebody. So anyway, for what it's worth, like I said, I'm not complaining. Anything, like I said, any dime that gets made out of this stuff to me is just a blessing from you guys. It's a blessing from the universe, however you want to say it. I can't believe I've got this many views on my channel, and I keep saying that. And in the scheme of things, I really don't compare it to like these entertainment channels. But pushing 4 million views this year, I think that's a lot for, and a lot of them were my Antarctica video. But either way, that's people are interested in this kind of stuff now. The ancient alien stuff blew up over the last year. Um, the last 5 years that's been blowing up. A lot of people watch that. I said a lot of that stuff is kind of tacky and jokey and kind of hacky. Kind of like I do this, but it's on like I put a real hokey, hacky type thing going on here. This is locked up now, so I'm just gonna get to the end of this and let you guys go. But I'm not gonna change it. I might add a couple more decent things where I do a little bit more pre stuff. Yeah, I just don't put a picture up and fumble through it and half asleep and talk to you through it. But I tell you, um, every little bit helps. A lot of people put a lot of time into these channels and a lot of effort. So it takes a lot to make a video, a couple every night, or even to keep up with one a week for some people. It's pretty tough. So um, thank you, Google, for taking away that from us. But we still, like I said, I'm not complaining at all. Like I said, you guys rock. People, like I said, we still get something. So, and as the channel grow, and as the channel grows, I see a range in, especially with the, I tell you what, internet traffic is amazing. I've been looking as we look at these curves and look at this more symmetry, what looks like it. The what months are more active than others, when people are paying for ads. This stuff fascinates me. Um, the whole thing is if you have a good niche website, you can make a killing. You can't make a killing on Mars stuff, but I mean, if you're pushing, if you really got a decent website, like somebody like the Drudge Report probably makes a killing off of his advertisement. Um, so many websites out there, probably just do the AdSense make a killing. As I'm still going, look at that 3 down there. Did you guys see that? Who saw that? Somebody saw that. Hit like if you saw that. Don't make me dance for my likes. Come on. That one video, I tell you what, every time I do something stupid, now watch this video end up somehow going viral. You know, 34-minute video of me rambling about this one picture will somehow go viral. But um, you know, like that hybrid lady, that hybrid woman. I forget what I called the video. It was like hybrid woman, frozen in time, and it looks like a lady. It's a rock. I'm sure it's a rock. It might not be though. Who knows? I've never been up there, but it looks like a lady, and it looks more like a lady or like a girl than anything I've seen on Mars. And I did a long video on it too, where I'm just going through, like, oh, that looks like a face, just kind of everything looks like a face to us. But that's one that's starting to go viral now. Just got over 100,000 hits. It's like I can't win. All the ones that I either take a long time and I'm doing, I'm hokey in it. And at the beginning of that video, I rapped. So the first, I get some of the most racist statements from people. Like, it's, they'll be like, I turned that off in the first 10 seconds. I'm not going to listen to some wigger, and it's like, whatever, come on. Are you kidding me? It's, as, I mean, it's like, you can even tell I'm just joking. That's not my genre. That's not my style. And people got some nerve on YouTube, what they say. I swear. Some racist people. People think that you're really anonymous on YouTube. And now with Google Plus, this is another thing I like about it. You're not. There's, what I mean, you've got to sign up for that. And they'll eventually make it so you'll have to. Look at that right there coming up off of that. But, so, unless you're one of the paid trolls or you just have 300 accounts, you eventually will, you know, you're going to have to put yourself out there. It's just going to stop. So, all right, guys. Anyway, like I said, I don't even know if I'm going to upload this one. I guess I will. You guys haven't had a video for a while. Either way, you could see this thing in high def. Check the description down below. Like I said, you'll get the links. I mean, everywhere I look, I see symmetry, and that just might mean I'm a little sleepy. It just might mean that's how I see things when I look at these pictures. I tell you what, people tell me, "Oh, go look at anything. Go to Colorado and look at some tree or look at some rocks, and you're gonna see this stuff." And I don't see it. I mean, I live right by Shenandoah. I can drive to the Shenandoah Mountain, the Blue Ridge Mountains. I go there all the time. It's 3.5 hours away. Um, I just don't see it. But I do see, two symmetry in this here cut right there. A hook thing there, and just what looks to be dilapidated buildings, stuff like we would see in Egypt as it comes up out of the sand, which there's many pictures you can find online. And look at that right there, it's kind of a circle in there, and it's got that line all the way to it. So, like I said, like this stuff probably collapsed at some point. Look, there's more stuff over here lined up. After the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 6. We had five straight lines lined up last time, so 6, we broke it. Much love, guys. I'm gonna hit the sack. I gotta get out and work tomorrow. 37 minutes. That's my lucky number anyway. What's up in the sky at 37? Peace.